Holy smokes, this is absolutely crazy. If you guys would have told me a couple days ago that people like RFK Kennedy Jr., Megyn Kelly, and honestly, the entire internet at large was getting all up in arms about a squirrel named Peanut wearing a cowboy hat, I would have told you, you're absolutely nuts. Are you kidding? A couple days before one of the biggest, probably the most impactful, consequential presidential elections of our lifetime? There is absolutely no way. People are going to find a better things to talk about. Kamala Harris is going to say something silly. Trump is going to say something silly. There's just no way this is going to be part of the national conversation. But this is where you would be wrong. This has become such a singular issue and concern for people. Look at this. Look at this picture that I saw on Twitter. Irene Wexler wrote "new single issue voter coming through," and it's a screenshot of a text that says, "I'm a single issue voter now. We will avenge Peanut." Okay. Another person said, a squirrel just flipped New York red. Guys, I am telling you, I'm not even lying. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I believe that the squirrel is going to play it's going to have an effect on this presidential race with just a couple of days left. It is absolutely crazy. People are getting red pilled right now by this squirrel. It is absolutely fascinating what's happening right now. So before I move any forward, I do want to say I'm kind of experimenting here. I have this right here. It says the Adam C. Moreno Show. I don't really call these videos anything, but a lot of people call it, oh man, I love this podcast. This is my favorite show. I watch you every day, all this and that. But I don't really call them anything. Sometimes I call them on the line. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time, I don't really say anything. I'm like, these are just videos. But I'm really trying to kind of lock in here. Like I'm committed. I want to start. I want to call it something. So I was thinking about the Adam C. Moreno Show, and this is kind of a design that I made, and I was just wondering what you thought about it. And this is also a new little animated background, and I think it's simple, it's clean, but it's still beautiful. There's lines moving, and I kind of like it. But I want to know your opinion on it. Let me know what you think about it. If you like it, if you hate it. I value the comments here and the people and their perspectives is so much. So please let me know if you like it. Or please let me know if you hate it or if we could do better. Okay. Also, if you like watching videos here, if you like consuming your content or your information here, please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me. So let's get into it. I really want this video to serve as kind of like a digital time capsule of what happened on November 2nd. So first of all, who is the squirrel? Why is a squirrel important? And I'm gonna go ahead and share this video first because I absolutely love it. We see a squirrel and its owner just have the best time ever. Look at this. Okay, so actually, you know what? Before I play this, I want to give a little bit of context here. So this is from an article from Fox News, and just so a little bit of context for people before I continue playing. This article reads: Peanut was discovered by his family, Mark Longo, when he was 5 weeks old after his mother was hit by an oncoming vehicle. He was then lovingly nursed back to health and would not return to the wild when released. Okay, so Mark Longo tried to release the squirrel back to the wild, but the squirrel just didn't want to go back. The squirrel was already attached to this man named Mark Longo, who nursed him back to health. And you know what's crazy? They have been together for the past 7 years. Okay, Mark Longo and his squirrel. So this is just them living life together. I'm not sharing the music because obviously it'll get copyrighted. But look at this: the squirrel is eating a waffle. Okay, the squirrel helps this man cook. Isn't that beautiful? And guys, this squirrel has just become a cultural phenomenon, and it is just crazy. This I've never thought of a squirrel as an actual pet, but this completely changed my mind. Look at how loving this squirrel is, and oh my gosh, it literally jumped off a fridge to Mark. Is that not the cutest? Oh my gosh. I wonder if he puts a leash on it and they go on like walks. And look at it, helping it cook, helping him just to live life. They are genuinely best friends here. They're playing, and this is just the best thing in the world. Okay, so now this is all a feel good story, right? Up until something incredibly terrible and disgusting happens. So I saw this first from Colin Rugg. He reports that the owner of Peanut, the squirrel, explains how New York officials raided his house, took Peanut and his raccoon, and euthanized them. Look at this. 7-year-old Peanut and Fred the Raccoon were euthanized after anonymous complaints. And we have a video. It's a TMZ. They're getting questioned by them, and they are in complete distress. They are crying. Their voice is crackling. It is so sad. I'm gonna play another video of them later on. But look at this. Officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I sat there like a criminal after they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status. Oh, and also real quick, just for a little bit of context, and this is also going to be important for the future of the video. Peanut they actually went to New York. Okay, look at this. Last year, we moved to New York in the hopes of starting a nonprofit animal rescue in Peanut's name. And just for just for proof, this is what it looks like on Instagram, right? They call it the Peanuts Freedom Farm, a 501c3 approved nonprofit, a sanctuary devoted to saving animals in need of a forever home. Peanuts essentially gave birth to a sanctuary where animals like Peanuts could be taken care of by these beautiful, incredible human beings. And what happens? The state of New York decides it's in their best interest to go into this person's house, find the raccoon, find the squirrel, and euthanize them. Look at this. They proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house. They proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny in my house for a squirrel and a raccoon. They got a search warrant for departments. A judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them. This is so incredibly sad. And before I share a little bit more on what the internet is saying, I do want you guys to hear from them yourself, because this is so heartbreaking. Check this out.
Hi, everyone. I don't know how I'm going to say this.
This is so sad. They literally lost a family member.
I just want to say thank you to all of you. Peanut was the best thing that ever happened to us. And we got confirmation that they put him down. I want to continue to fight this fight as much as I can, but we need all of you to come together and help us.
This is insane. Again, all this is going to be linked up if you want to watch the entire clips. But look at the caption. It says, "Rip my best friend. Thank you for the best 7 years of my life. Thank you for bringing so much joy to us in the world. I'm sorry I failed you, but thank you for everything." This is so incredibly sad. And rightfully, this is a sad experience. And check this out. We even have Tiffany Fong saying, "We will avenge you, Peanut." This is kind of the uproar of what's happening. Like I already said, so many mainstream media has already taken on this, and it made headlines today and yesterday. Look at the USA Today, Yahoo News, the New York Post, Fox News, TMZ, if you want to click them. Even Megyn Kelly's out here saying they're killing the squirrels, they're killing the raccoons, they're killing the pets. And I love how I feel like this was said in the same type of rhythm of President Trump in the debate with Kamala Harris, where President Trump is saying that they're killing the dogs, they're killing the cats. And now it's like, is it off? Is it, or are we actually finding that there's a different alignment of priorities in the government, and it's causing all of this madness to happen? If you were to ask me that, I would have to agree with you. And look at this. Look at this other meme. I think it's so great. This person said, "So how did you get radicalized?" And they respond with, "I watched the NYDC murder a happy and healthy pet squirrel named Peanut for no reason other than some useless apparatchiks had too much power." And look at this. We have a person above them with a ballot with the option for Donald J. Trump and JD Vance saying for peanut. And this and the meme is of a man just being completely red pilled, eyes opened. He has just experienced this incredible awakening and he's just never going back. And this is actually the same thing that RFK Jr. responded to, or that I already said in that I already showed in the beginning. Except he writes, "Are these the same guys that killed my whale and my bear? And what happened to the head? Just asking for a friend." We're all wondering. We're all wondering what's happening. There's this other great meme with President Trump saying, "It's okay. They wrongfully persecuted me too." It's sad. And I also wanted to mention that there was this other thing that just it went it made a bunch of news today. People were sharing this, but I want to be clear, this is like not real. The Trump campaign has already confirmed that this isn't real, but this is a statement. It says it's a statement by President Trump, but it's not. But here's the thing, and this is what I think is really, really important, is because even though this is fake, even though this is a parody, I do think there's a lot of truth here, and the truth is why this is going to have an impact in this election between President Trump and Kamala Harris. So I'll go ahead and read this again. Know that it's not real, but just because it's not real, just because it's a joke, doesn't mean that there's not a layer of truth behind it. Okay, and that's what I want us to get to here. So this document reads, "There have been horrible reports out of New York, my former home state, where state environmental agents raided the home of Mark Longo and his wife. Mark was taken into custody for hours while officials searched his home and eventually took two of their pets, Fred the raccoon and Peanut the squirrel. These animals were later executed by the state of New York. And New York authorities, under their terrible governor, put more effort." And here's the truth that I was talking about, okay? And New York authorities, under their terrible governor, put more effort into finding and eliminating a squirrel who was innocent by all accounts than they do to control the unchecked illegal immigrants who could have flooded into their state. If Peanut could have told them that he was from Mexico, they would have sent him on his way and given him a hotel room and a $500 gift card to Buddy Squirrel. Instead, he was taken from his family. Very sad, and a complete waste of our resources. When we win, we will get our priorities in order and make America great again. I shared this and I wrote, "I love this election season. Trump is not only a man of the people, he is a man of the squirrels." I even wrote, Trump just locked in the squirrel vote." So what's the truth here? For one, the truth here is that we have seen so many states in this beautiful country actually have a list of priorities, and so many of those priorities do not include the average American citizen. No, we're seeing illegal immigrants get thousands of dollars in New York and being put up in hotels that are and all this is taxpayer funded. And whenever people, like normal people who are, maybe at the poverty level, whenever they need resources, whenever they need help, whenever they need access to different, medical assistance, they get denied. Why? Because there's a misalignment of priorities between what's happening at the state and federal level. And it's just completely unaligned with the average American person. So even though this is a parody of something that President Trump said, the truth is that there is this misalignment. There are people who are hurting. There are things that are happening in our government that does not have our best interests. And it's because of these different policies that are actually elevating people without citizenship status. And they're being taken care of when American people aren't. And that's what's wrong. And even using resources at the state level to actually go ahead and find this squirrel and euthanize it and take it away from its family, and just like this is absurd that so many resources are actually being dedicated to that whenever there are actual problems, whenever people are hurting, whenever there's people on the streets, whenever people are struggling with addiction, whenever people are actually needing some assistance. Why are we using resources to actually to find a squirrel, to find a raccoon, to find a squirrel and a raccoon that were living their best life. That's the problem, and that is the uproar that you are seeing right now on the internet. That's why people are saying, "I'm a single issue voter," right? We will avenge Peanut. That's why people are saying that a squirrel just flipped New York red. That is why people are just completely upset about this. Like someone else said, rip Peanut the squirrel. This is absolutely absurd. Again, we will avenge you, Peanut. The fact that so many people are voicing their opinions here, and the fact that they have found a home in the Republican Party. They found a home, and they are now seen by MAGA, by Maha, through RFK Jr. They have found a home in the Republican Party, and why aren't liberals talking about this? Kind of weird how this conversation is actually being elevated by Republicans, by conservatives, by independents, and completely ignored by the Democratic Party. I would really want I'd really want you to ask yourself why that was, why that is. Now, that's pretty much the whole portion of that conversation. I only wanted to say one other thing, and this actually made me very upset. I saw this post by Keith Edwards, and it was a screenshot of RF Kennedy Jr., my guy out here. I believe this tweet is actually still pinned on his main Twitter account, but it reads, on January 20th, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water. Fluoride is an industrial waste associated with arthritis, bone fractures, bone cancer, IQ loss, neurodevelopment disorders, and thyroid disease. President Trump and First Lady Melania want to make America healthy. Again, I love it. I absolutely love it. But what does Keith Edwards say about this? He says this is dot 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 not good. He is just adding to the fear. He is adding, instead of saying anything productive, he is just saying, "Oh, this is probably not good." He's speaking to the millions of the hundreds of thousands of people who follow him across platforms and saying, "This is not good." I actually even responded to this and I wrote, "Why do you love seeing Americans sick?" That was my question, point blank. And I actually think I'm the perfect person to say this. Why? Because I'm actually a fluoride advocate, which is so weird. But anyone who's been watching me for a while, they know that I love teeth. I'm really big into oral healthcare. I believe that it is very undervalued in the medical system, and I believe that oral healthcare is healthcare. So I'm very pro fluoride in toothpaste. Okay, and that's my position. I'm very pro fluoride in toothpaste, and I used to be pro fluoride in water as well, just because I thought, okay, well, fluoride is good for you. Fluoride actually prevents cavities. Fluoride being in your system makes your teeth stronger, and it actually does a pretty decent job of fighting cavities and fighting decay. I thought this was good, but now, as I've as I've as I've as I dove deeper in this conversation, I've learned that a lot of what RFK Jr. says right here is real. The bone fractures, that's true. IQ loss, that's real. I've looked into this stuff, and all of this, for the most part, is there's basis for it. Now, but I will say this personally. I don't think fluoride should be in water. Okay, we've done the studies, we've done the analysis, we've we could actually monitor this and see that fluoride in our water is actually creating a little bit more harm than good, and the intention of putting it in actually didn't have the the effect that we wanted. But I will say this: I still think fluoride should be in toothpaste. Okay. I think we have the ADA has done so much incredible research to determine that fluoride for on toothpaste for your teeth actually gives you the correct amount of fluoride that makes your teeth stronger. It prevents cavities, it prevents decay, and I will still be advocating for fluoride in toothpaste. I think it's really really important. But I also will say I give myself the permission to change my mind, but as of right now, I still use fluoride in my toothpaste, but I do not consume water with fluoride. So I think this is a great conversation. I actually think this is good that RFK Jr. is talking about the things that he is going to do with President Trump on January 20th after he's already in office. This gets me excited. This makes me hopeful for the future. And I think this is so cool. So unlike Keith Edwards, I think I'm gonna go ahead and repost this and say, this is ... good. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyways, that's the whole conversation. That's the video that I wanted to have today. I know it's kind of a little bit more lighthearted. We're talking about a squirrel named Peanut, but I don't know. I think videos like this are good. I think they're important. And plus, we had a lot of perspectives here. We had RFK Jr. talking about this. We had Megyn Kelly talking about this, and I just loved it. Anyways, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you think about Peanut the squirrel. And also, now that we're on this conversation, I'd actually love to hear your perspective on fluoride in water. Are you excited about that? Do you think fluoride should not be in water? Do you think fluoride should not be in toothpaste? Let me know. You heard my position. Now I want to hear yours. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this conversation. Let's go ahead and push this conversation forward and elevate it again in the comment section. And I hope you all have a great day. Also, let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you think about this little new animated background. Anyways, I hope you have a great and beautiful and wonderful day, and I will see you all next time. Thank you. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.